Local breaking news right now on your fast track to the top of the hour. Fire crews are called out to the 4200 block of 17th Avenue South for a fire just after 6 o'clock this morning.
The Valley Today's JC Dodd is there with the latest. Good morning, JC.
Good morning, Phoenix. Jordan. I just got on scene here of a fire on 17th Avenue South in Fargo. It's an apartment complex right behind me called Autumn Brook 3. It has just been raised to a 3 alarm. The call came in, we know, before 6, and when I got on scene, police have shut down 42nd Street to 43rd Street. So they are directing traffic around this block, this stretch of 17th Avenue South. Now, right now, as far as the fire, we know it's 3 alarm. However, we have no information on injuries, where the fire originated, active flames, anything like that. Again, I just got on scene, but while I'm here, I'm going to talk with the fire chief and see what kind of information I can get from you. Again, this is 17th Avenue South, the Autumn Brook 3 apartment here in South Fargo. Now I'm going to stay on scene and bring you the latest.
All right, local breaking news, like you said, 3 alarm fire, so we know that's a big one. JC Dodd reporting live in South Fargo this morning. Thank you. It is now 6:50 on this Wednesday morning. The other big story that we have for today is that snow. It's creating some difficult travel conditions out there, Lisa.
Yes, and we are adding up more and more snowfall reports here that are looking pretty hefty in the valley. Lake Park, a report of 5.5 inches of snow there. In the Abercrombie area, 4 inches of snow. And Hawley, 5.5 inches of snow have fallen there. Foreman, just about 5 inches of snow. And in Fargo, a report of 3.1. So 3 to 5, even 6 inches of snow in some of these areas where we've been seeing that heavy band setting up. We warned you about that band that would be affecting us in southeastern North Dakota and into Minnesota yesterday, and now it's here. Lake Park, one of those places dealing with it. You can see our visibility is down along Highway 10, and basically traveling between Fargo and the Detroit Lakes area are going to be running into some of that snowfall that's occurred and continues to fall. And speaking of Fargo, here's the tri-level view. Looking murky out there. We've got the snow, we've got slushy and kind of slippery roads, even on some of the higher traveled roads like interstates within town. Your intersections are going to be trouble, and into places like bridge decks that tend to freeze over quicker. You're going to see some icy conditions there too. It's one of those events where, because our temperatures are closer to freezing, it's more of a different kind of start to your day rather than the blowing snow and icy conditions from time to time. We're looking at sloppy, slushy conditions and ice too that's out there that will lead to slick spots. Here's a look at the radar. You can see we've just kind of been dealing with snow over some of the same areas all morning long. Fargo-Moorhead, one of those spots, back over into Lakes Country. Radar indicating that some of this may be trying to change over a little bit, trying to melt as it's reaching the ground in Fargo and back into Clay County. Overall, though, we're looking at either sleet to snow affecting us with visibility that is anywhere from below a mile in parts of southeastern North Dakota to around 3 to 4 miles in Lakes Country. Now, if you're in the Northern Valley, it's a different morning for you. You do not have snow up there. It's looking a lot quieter to start off the day today, with winds that have increased, and they continue to in that area, winds that are northerly, and eventually this all spreads eastward. So we'll have that wind-snow combination setting up for us pretty soon here this morning as that wind moves east. Temperatures are at or below freezing. So out at the bus stop, the kids will want their snow boots. Again, hopefully they didn't get put away yet this season. And then heading home today, temperatures don't change much. The wind will continue. We'll see those steady speeds in the 20s, gusts into the 30s. But the snow will at least be done for later today. But just keep in mind, it's going to be a messy one and not the ideal day out on the roads, that's for sure.
I definitely want to make sure to bring that winter coat. Well, now over to Jordan to have a look at your North Dakota and Minnesota road conditions. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Phoenix and Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, we want to get a check of what's going on. As Lisa was just explaining, it's really dependent on where you are as to what people are seeing. I'm going to focus on the metro right now because this is just a very unusual case. It's really a rainbow of road map conditions that we're seeing this morning. Every single condition possible is being seen on the maps. However, I'm just going to go around the metro, just north of Fargo, up until about Grandin, around to Valley City, down to the South Dakota border, and then back up through Wahpeton, and then just outside of the metro. That is fully covered in snow, everything that I am outlining in red here. However, taking a look, that little spot with nothing on it, that is the metro. They're reporting that as just wet or slushy this morning. Now, it could be because more crews are out clearing off those roads. Heading up north on I-29 to Grand Forks, we're talking about wet, slush-covered roads again. Devil's Lake Basin, partially ice-covered. Again, All conditions are seen out there. In Minnesota today, I-94 out of the metro, fully covered until about that Barnesville exit, and then partially covered south of that. Highway 10, another popular road, partially covered until about Holly. Then Holly all the way to Perham, Minnesota on Highway 10, fully covered. There is a spin-out reported south of Battles Lake, one earlier east of Monaga, and another one just south of Bagley. Roseau County also has a no travel advisory this morning, so make sure you stick with your VNL news and weather apps as you stay up to date on how it's impacting your day. Phoenix?
A Twin Cities murder suspect caught in Fargo. A man police believe to have stabbed his wife to death in the city of Chaplin Monday night is in Cass County Jail awaiting extradition to Minnesota. Fargo police got a tip that 45-year-old James Knight was in the Fargo area. Police located him at the Dakota Park Apartments yesterday morning near the Essentia Health on 32nd Avenue South. SWAT was called out and the suspect was arrested without incident. Knight, the suspect there, he is suspected as the murder of the 35-year-old Peach U. Yates, whose body was found laying in the yard of a home. Police found the suspect's abandoned vehicle around midnight. He was arrested in Fargo around 9:45 yesterday morning. New information on that massive fire at a popular St. Paul grocery store that we told you about yesterday morning on the Valley Today. Investigators now say that it was arson. The store entrance at the downtown Lunds and Byerly store is in ruins, and even a nearby street lamp melted from the heat. Fire officials say the surveillance video shows the fire was set on purpose in a garbage can outside front before it spread to the store entrance. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is confirming that a Mar-a-Lago death investigation has been sent to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office for possible charges. The 22-year-old Minneapolis man was shot and killed on February by Minneapolis police officers while authorities were executing a so-called no-knock search warrant of a downtown apartment.
That happened in Hennepin County. The apartment was leased to Locke's cousin, who was a suspect in a January murder in St. Paul. Body camera video released shows Locke asleep on the couch when police entered. He was shot seconds later when he woke up and had his hand on a gun. A Grand Forks police officer is recovering from a broken arm suffered during a struggle with a suspect during a traffic stop. Officers pulled over 19-year-old Bud Wuchi Hill early yesterday morning for running a stop sign. He took off running but was then found hiding in a dumpster.
Police say there was a struggle as Hill tried slipping out of handcuffs, and that's when one of the officers' arm was broken. It's a major disappointment for the FM Metro arts community, and fans of the Trailwood Performing Arts School is postponing its popular main stage musical until next summer.
The organization says it's delaying its performance of Singing in the Rain because of staffing shortages and rising material costs. But all of the other programs will go on as planned this summer. A second COVID-19 booster shot gets the green light for people over the age of 50 who are immunocompromised.
The FDA cites that emerging evidence that suggests a second booster improves protection against severe COVID-19. FDA guidance for booster shots for another age groups remains the same. Making Minnesota a leader in ALS research and support. That's the idea behind major funding just passed by the state legislature. Lawmakers approved $20 million for ALS research and $5 million for caregiver support. Those millions will stay in Minnesota with grants to support research that institutions like the University of Minnesota and Mayo Clinic are already doing. Minnesota long-term care facilities were so short-staffed during the worst of the pandemic that 400 National Guard troops had to be called in. But thanks to more than $3 million in American Rescue Plan money, the state began a program this January to train 1,000 certified nursing assistants. So far, 1,200 people have taken advantage of the deal, which includes tuition, textbooks, and exam fees. The FM Legion Riders are raising money to help the Lake Park American Legion rebuild after a fire. There is a benefit breakfast this Sunday from 8:30 to noon at the Moorhead American Legion. You can expect to get that breakfast served there, and it's all in support of a fire that happened on March 13th. It caused significant fire and smoke damage to the building. The cause has not yet been determined. East Grand Forks police have a new device in their toolkit to help restrain people who are not cooperating. They're called the BOLA wraps, which is a limited amount of force that law enforcement has to use when taking someone into custody. The Kevlar cord wraps around the subject, limiting their movement and allowing officers to have a more safely way to approach them.
The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up on the Fargo CW. That's where we find JC Dodd live at a 3-alarm fire in South Fargo.